Hi third graders, I hope you're having a good day and I hope you're being good for your parents. Today I'm here to help you with Guided Class Practice 111A. Guided Class Practice 111A. Alright, I'll get started right away, putting my name on the paper. Okay, let's see, the date line here says draw a 1.5 inch plus a 2 1/4 inch line segment. How long is the line segment? So we're adding 1.5 and 2 1/4. So I know when I'm adding fractions, they have to have the same denominator. To change these to have the same denominator, I'm going to change this 1/2 to have a 4 in the denominator. I know that 1 1/2 is equivalent or equal to 1 2/4. Because 2/4 is equal to 1/2. So now I'm going to add 1 2/4 plus 2 1/4. Add my whole numbers. 1 plus 2 equals 3. Add my numerators. 2 plus 1 equals 3. And my denominator of my fraction stays the same. That means that 1 2/4 plus 2 1/4 equals 3 3/4. So my date line should be 3 3/4 of an inch. If you have a ruler at home, go ahead and draw that date line. Okay, question number 1. 4/5 of the children in room 40 like pineapple. What fractional part of the children do not like pineapple? Okay, so this says 4/5 of the children in room 40 like pineapple. Room 40, that's extra information. I don't need to know that to solve this. This says 4/5 like pineapple. What fractional part do not like pineapple? The question asks fractional part. That means my answer is going to be a fraction. I'm going to draw my fraction bar. Do not like it. Well, if 4/5 like it, that means 1/5 do not like it. Because 4/5 plus 1/5 would equal 5/5, which is 1 whole. If there are 20 children in room 40, once again, we don't need to know room 40, how many children do not like pineapple? So we have to find out how many do not. We know 1/5 do not like it, and there are 20 total. Okay. The question asks how many children. That means I'm going to be labeling with children. So I'm going to do 1/5 times 20 children. And let me solve. I know to solve this, I divide by the denominator, multiply by the numerator. So I'm going to write divide by the denominator, multiply by the numerator. So I'm going to take my whole number and I'm dividing 20 divided by 5 because I divide by the denominator times that answer by 1 because I multiply by the numerator. I know that 20 divided by 5 equals 4. I take my answer, which is 4, and I times it by the numerator, which is 1. 4 times 1 equals 4. That means that 1/5 times 20 children equals 4 children. That means that my answer is 4 children. 4 children do not like pineapple. Okay, I'm moving on to question number 2. Name the acute angle, name the obtuse angle, name the right angle. Okay, so I know that an acute angle is a small angle. An obtuse angle is a big angle. And I know that a right angle makes a perfect L. So I'm going to look at my options over here. Which one is my acute or small angle? When I look, is it angle ABC, angle DEF, or angle ZYX? I know that my acute angle, my small angle, is angle ABC because it's a small angle. My acute angle is my small angle. Now I'm looking for my obtuse angle. Which out of these three is the large angle? I could tell that this is larger angle. It's a larger opening. So I'm going to write down angle DEF is my obtuse angle. That's my large angle. And finally, I'm looking for my right angle. I know that this right here is making that perfect L. That is my right angle, and that is angle XYZ. Okay, fill in the correct angle names. So we already know that if it makes that perfect L, that's a 90-degree angle, a right angle. If it makes a straight line, we know it's 180 degrees. Okay, a straight line is 180 degrees. So it's giving us three options: 130 degrees, 35 degrees, and 90 degrees. Oh, well, we know that 90 degrees is a right angle. So I'm coming up here to find my right angle. The measure of angle XYZ equals 90 degrees because it's a right angle. That's angle XYZ because that is a right angle. So now I have two other options left. Is the measure 130 degrees or is the measure of the angle 35 degrees? Well, I can tell by process of elimination that my smaller angle, my acute angle, is going to be 35 degrees because it's smaller than the right angle of 90. So that means that my measure of angle ABC must be 35 degrees because it's acute. Now, process of elimination, that means that my measure of my angle DEF is going to be 130 degrees because that is an obtuse angle. I can also tell because DEF, it's not 90 degrees, it's larger than it, but it's not 180, which is a straight line. It's in between at 130. Okay, now I'm going to go to question number 3. Question number 3 says, what is the name of the polygon? So it's looking at this shape right here. It wants to know what it's called. Well, I can see here that this top line is parallel to this bottom line. Okay, they would never touch each other if they continued on forever. But these two side lines are tilted. If we continued up, they would touch each other, so they are not parallel. So one set of parallel lines and one set of lines that are tilted or angled, that must mean that this is a trapezoid. Measure and label each side of the polygon using inches. All right, if you have a ruler at home, go ahead and pause and measure. If you don't have a ruler at home, I'll tell you what they are. This top line is 1 inch. This right line is 3/4 of an inch. This bottom line is 1.5 inches. And this side over here is 3/4 of an inch. So we have 1 inch on the top, 3/4 on the side, 1.5 on the bottom, 3/4 on the other side. What is the perimeter of the polygon? Perimeter, we need to add all the sides. Perimeter, we add all the sides. So I'm gonna go ahead and add up these sides. 1 inch plus 3/4 of an inch plus 3/4 of an inch plus 1.5 inches. Now to do this, just like we had to do up in the date line before, we're gonna have to change the denominator here. So I'm changing this over to 1 2/4 of an inch. So let me add my whole numbers here. I have 1 plus 0 plus 0 plus 1. So my whole number is going to be 2. My denominator stays the same, which is 4. I'm going to add all my numerators. 3 plus 3 plus 2, so that's 6 and 8. So I have 2 8/4. 8/4. I know that that would change 8/4 could change into the number 2, so I'd have 2 plus 2, which would be 4. So that means that my answer would be 4 inches. 4 inches when I added it all up together. That means that 1 inch plus 3/4 plus 3/4 plus 1 1/2 equals 4 inches. All right, go ahead and click on to part 2 of this video.